Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Today we're going to talk about doubt. I'm going to give you a little bit of an exercise, something that you can do that's going to just maybe give you that little ping to try and wake you up out of whatever negative thinking you might be going into. Everybody doubts themselves. Seriously, everybody doubts themselves. Unless you're like a super awakened being, then you have no thoughts at all. And I have been in that space before where there are no questions. There really is no reason to question anything. That's when you know you've really reached that awakened state, because you don't need to know anything. You're in such a heightened state of euphoria, light, and love that even the challenges don't really faze you. You still experience being human. There's always stuff that goes on that reminds you that you're a human being with human feelings, but they no longer control you. And this is what I want to talk about today. The questions, the doubts, the chatter in the head is never going to connect you to a higher frequency, ever. It never does. It's the ego talking that really wants to control situations and make it whatever it wants, instead of relinquishing control to what is higher, that will always take you to something better. You see, the ego cannot manipulate the material world. In fact, it's battling it, which makes it actually worse. So even if you manifest certain things that you desire, they generally won't work out the way you want, because it's resonating on a lower frequency. So it's not connected to the things that are always best for you. So what's going to happen is you will get some things that will teach you lessons to allow you to go ahead and say, you know what, that doesn't make me happy. These things aren't important. And we have to go through that. That's okay. That's just part of our evolution as human beings. And then you decide, we've all gone through that, the getting the stuff and realizing, wow, okay, this is what it feels like. Yay, it's great, and then it's never enough, and it's never really happiness. It doesn't solve problems. It certainly doesn't make you happy. It just can make life more comfortable, right? It's really nice. But if you are not totally happy inside, that will not solve any of those issues for you, right? If you're already happy and you're abundant and you're connected to that, then it's a bonus that you love and you share it with everybody. And you never really need it anymore, not to the extent that you wanted when you were in the ego state. The ego wants the bigger the better, the more the money, and then the true essence of you realizes that it really doesn't bring anything in. It doesn't really create any joy or happiness. So there's a relinquished kind of attitude, relinquishment to the universe that says, okay, we're going to bring you exactly what is beautiful and highest. And of course, that does include abundance. There's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with having things. That's how the world functions, at least for now. So when you focus on just I would like to be in an awakened state. When you go in an awakened state, all that other stuff that you're worried about, it dissolves. It has no importance. You don't have to know how the universe works. You don't have to know how to do this or how to manifest this or that. You don't even ask those questions anymore. You're so connected to that higher frequency that you already know. You've got that. You already have that answer in your head without really saying it. And that is, I'm connected to everything now. I don't have to do a mantra or, try and figure out do I focus on it? Do I not focus on it? When do I let go? Do I write these things down every day? Those are things that the ego says that there's a mechanical material, sequence of things that have to happen to get things out here. And as I've shared with you before, which is why I try to use quantum physics over the concept of law of attraction, is not because they aren't the same thing. It's just that when we phrase things different in our head, I try to help you expand into a different way of looking at things to make you realize that there's nothing separate from you out there, that if you do these things, it's going to come to you. That's that word attract. And I'm trying to take us into the 21st century where we actually know quantum physics. People say you don't like the word theory. A theory is not proven. Quantum physics is not a theory. Quantum physics is proven that we do affect the results of an experiment through our focus. That's just a fact. It is science now versus, and of course, yes, of course, there's so much we don't know about that. That's just a fraction of what it is. But these are experiments that show us what's happening when we focus on something. And that's why I like to use it, because you can actually look it up and actually see experiments that were done that'll blow your mind. And so then you realize my thoughts and focus are changing the results. Just a thought. So this is why it's so important for these thoughts to be on a higher frequency and very open to the very energy that it is and is, of course, connected to. All right, so when you're on this lower frequency and you're trying to figure these things, your thoughts to the universe are that you don't really have that power. And that's why I'm trying to demonstrate that if we break through these barriers of this gets this, and then going into what I believe exists, and that is, I am this. I don't have to do anything to get this. I am this. I just have to switch my beliefs to open up those gateways and just receive it, right? So it's already there, all of it. It's all there. There's nothing to do to bring it in other than to know it is and be okay and release it. So when you're worrying and you're doubting, that's not manifesting what you desire. That is you are creating the I don't have it, I don't believe it. So it will send you that. It is what you're creating. You're creating the not happening. I don't believe it, I doubt it. All right, great. Not happening, not happening. So how do you get past doubt? That's a tough one, right? Because when things haven't been going your way and you don't know what you're doing wrong, then you start to doubt yourself and doubt the universe and doubt all the things you hear out there from mentors and books and all these things. Everybody out there who's trying to help you look at this differently. You got to find what resonates with you. I hope that some of the things that I share will shift your thinking. As I shared with you, I don't focus on ask and receive. To me, there's no giving in that. It's asking and receiving. In other words, I want and then I receive. I don't believe that that is separate again from you. I believe that you already have. It's already given. Everything is. And that's and the Bible does speak about this, and I don't like to go into religion. This for me is not religion. This is just reinforcing what we know, and that is it already exists. Those who have who shall have more. Means that you already know you have it, even if you're not seeing it in the material world, and it will manifest because you're already there. You're not doubting it. When you're thinking you don't have, those who do not have, they shall lose what they have, because you're sending that message to the universe that I don't have. So it's going, okay, and then you start to keep losing things, or you're fighting very hard to get stuff, and it's not happening. All right? So these are the doubts of your power, of what we are, and when we start to really connect with and truly understand what you are, all of that goes away. All the mantras, all this other stuff really isn't necessary, because you go to this higher level of you just know. You just know. You don't even have to ask questions. You just say, okay, I am a human being on this planet. What do I want to achieve next? You know, for me, it was acceleration. I wanted to take everything that I was doing that's working beautifully and accelerate it, because I have a mission. I have so many years on this planet that I have to achieve certain things for my purpose, and I want to do that. I want to do it quickly and get it out there, because the sooner I get my messages and teachings to you, the sooner I can raise this frequency of the planet via your choice to do it. It's always your choice. Free will, right? You get to do it. All right, so the doubt thing. I had a video before on this, and whenever something comes in your head, I showed you how all you have to do is say, because I don't like to complicate things. You know, how do we move past this and the beliefs and all that stuff? It's great to say that, but if you're still believing certain things that you've believed your whole life, it's not easy to just switch flip that switch and go into total abundance, right? I do know this. So when you're believing, and maybe let's say you don't even think you're believing, you are, but let's say you don't believe that you're believing a certain negative thing, that you know it's true, whatever, but the doubts will come in. Does this really work? This really works. So that's you thinking that there's some mechanism that you, again, have to put into place that creates something here. There's nothing to work. There's no system way that works. You're always manifesting at all times. All you have to decide is where you place your focus and what you feel and think about that. That's it. If your thoughts behind that is that this is woo-woo stuff that doesn't work, or what's quantum physics, that's crazy, or, law of attraction, I have to bring something to me. Now you're creating that. That's how powerful you are. That is your reality. It's not separate from quantum physics. It's not like quantum physics is over here and that you're believing something over here, that they're separate things. You are using the quantum physics, and if you're believing doubt and you don't believe you can do it, it's going in. It's happening. It's happening for everybody. So your reality is very real to you, but we're still using the same power. We still are all the same power. So you can disbelieve, sit there and say it doesn't work. I don't believe that I was meant to be ill. I didn't choose this. Then that's true for you. You actually get to create that reality. But I have to ask you, is it serving you well? If it doesn't feel good, then it is not resonating. That thought, that belief is not resonating with what you are, and that's why it feels bad. Because you're going against everything that you are. And that is not a good frequency to live with, right? It doesn't serve you well. So when you go into a negative thought or doubt, ask yourself, why am I thinking this? So I did a video on this. Why am I thinking this? I really try and answer that question. Why am I thinking this? Most of the time, it's just a habit. There's no real reason behind it other than you've been thinking that way the whole time. You've been told that, that you are, it's blasphemous to think that you have that power. You've been told certain things, and it's tough to get past those beliefs that have been programmed in you to keep your power down. Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't show my power. Why? Why? Ask it. Why? It's the devil. All right. Then I guess that's your reality. So when you're done with that, you can start manifesting beautiful things. How can it be negative if the things that you want, and make sure you're doing this on a higher frequency, are beautiful and light and giving and coming from love? How can that ever be anything negative? And even if you go to the darkness, that is never judged. It's not going to be good for you. There's going to be repercussions for that, and that's what karma is. And it's happening instantaneously. You don't have to wait 100 years to be punished for something you did back in the dark ages. That's gone now. It's all instantaneous. You can work through anything. Any energy that came forward from a past life can be worked through in this one. So if you believe in that, don't even worry about that. The doubt. Why am I thinking this? And then the second question is this contributing positively to what I want to manifest? I'll tell you, we know what that answer is going to be. No. No, because doubt never contributes in a positive way. And the third thing is, what thought can I have that will contribute toward what I want to bring into my reality? Right? Why am I thinking this? Is this contributing in a positive way toward my manifestation? Going with quantum physics, as my focus with this thought, is it contributing to manifesting what I desire? No, because doubt never does. Doubt says you can't have it, you can't do it, this is ridiculous. Then you say, what thought can I adopt right now that would create that? And that is, I am all powerful. I am the light of the universe. There's nothing I can't be, do, or have. I'm limitless. I know that I've had human restrictions that I've believed, and I'm ready to release those. I welcome all the abundance, all the joy, the beauty of positive relationships, of doing something that I love for a living. I'm open and I accept that. This is what I choose. And even if that doubt is still there, you're stating these powerful words and feeling it. I know you guys said this. When you start to write things, my friend just texted me yesterday. She said, wow, she's going through some real challenges. A very positive person, but she's going through challenges. That's part of the split I talked about. We're going into the split. You're going to experience some stuff that's fallen off. Negative people that they're going deeper, so they're in conflict with you, and you've got to separate from them. So you're going to be exposed to some of that. You're going to see it go darker. And those are things you have to separate from, right? So you're going to the higher frequency. So don't think for a minute you're not going to see some of that, experience it as we split. Make sure you go in the right direction, in the higher frequency, right? So when you go through these things, like she told me, she said she got out her journal and said, I'm so grateful. I have a beautiful home. I have little animals that I love. I have beautiful friends that I love. And in all these other things and people and situations there, she's not focused on that. She's focused on what she has. So her frequency is going up to what I have. I have. Those who have shall receive more. So when you do that, you'll feel better because that's what you're focused on. Even if you have all this other residual doubt and the negativity, it's okay. Don't battle that. Don't battle it. It will dissolve. Trust me, if you're focused over here and you say, what is that new thought that I would have to manifest that reality for me, that one that I see? And then you keep catching yourself. What happens is you will start to switch over to that thought first. But you have to be diligent. This is the challenge of us breaking away and the split happening. All right, the split is that intensity of the darkness is either going to get worse for those in that realm, or you've got to cast off this negative stuff. You have got to cast it off. You're done with it. It does not serve you. Does this serve me? Is this thought serving me? Is it manifesting that reality that I want? A peaceful, beautiful world where people don't lock doors. They don't even need money anymore. There's abundance everywhere. We're so happy in giving, and that all of these challenges that we have, we're okay with them because we don't see them as negative anymore. We just see them as part of the human experience. There is no death. There's celebrations of transition. I'll see you on the other side. Blessings, I'm going to miss you, but I'll see you on the other side. And there's still communication going on there, which happens now. But we see it differently, don't we? We're looking at it differently. And that's going away. That's falling off. You can see the world differently. All right, that's a challenge. What am I going to do with this? Is this part of my human experience? And then you raise your frequency just with that kind of thinking. Instead of, this is horrible, it shouldn't be happening to me, I didn't ask for this. Darn right, asked for it. You did. Because that's what you're supposed to release, to go higher. You want to go higher, and then you get the challenges, and then we fight them, thinking that it shouldn't be that way. What am I doing wrong? Absolutely nothing. Hallelujah. You got another challenge. That's another thing you've got to work on and get rid of and correct to go up. The universe is giving you exactly what you need to go to that higher split dimension of the split. Otherwise, if you stay down here and you fight it, you're going to stay down there. It's going to keep coming back and back and back until you get it. And then you go ping. One day you're like, whoa. It's gone. All of it. The garbage, the nasty thinking, the questions, it's gone. I don't have to ask questions anymore. I know that everything is absolutely as it should be. Why am I thinking this? Doubt. Any doubt. Why? Why? All right, is this contributing in a positive way to what I'm trying to manifest? And that puts you in the frame of mind of what you want to manifest. What is that? So you're seeing it. So now your focus has switched over to what you want to manifest. A happier life, a higher paying job, one you love, a wonderful relationship, a fabulous relationship with your family and friends. You know, living in a beautiful, safe environment, whatever it is. And then you say, what thought do I need to have to manifest that? All right? I hope this is helpful for you. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my powerful, limitless light being. You ready to accept that? That's what you are. Sorry, that's what you are. Namaste.